Hey guys, this is MasterCog999 coming at you with a new Bionicle review. This is probably my favorite MOC design that I've personally made in a very, very long time. This is Apollo. He's not really a Toa because he doesn't control any elements, but as the name might suggest to you, he is related to space. He's really about exploration and space travel. And I feel like I have a good justification for that with how this MOC operates and his color scheme. Now, there is a lot of white on this MOC, excuse me. There's a lot of white on this MOC. And the reason that is because as we were all taught, or maybe know rather, white is the most reflective color or hue. It reflects all light, and so it reflects every color in the spectrum simultaneously, and that's where we get the color white. Now, as some of you may not know, since light is in this universe and abides by the laws of physics, once it reflects off of something, it pushes off that something as hard as it is pushed off of it, right? So, there are actually a lot of plans for space travel that revolve around using sunlight to basically push spacecraft like a sail. Like the wind would push a sail, light would push an object. And so the whole theme about this is, since white is so reflective, it can be used to push him through the void of space where he won't have to use too much propulsion of his own. However, he will need to use some propulsion of his own. Sails are only good for pushing, they're not good for minute deceleration burns or rotations. He does have torque for rotation in his inner MOC, or I mean, I didn't actually put torque in there, but it's implied that he would have it. So that's where the black comes in. As we all know, black is the opposite of white. It absorbs all color, very good at absorbing heat, and so the black on this MOC is to absorb light so that he can utilize his thrusters. Now, where are his thrusters? Well, if I take the MOC over here and bend up the arm, and if we were to move the camera so that we were looking at the arm, on each of his wrists he has a single thruster that he can use his arms to rotate. Think Iron Man, except, you know, instead of in his palms, it's on his wrists. So with the energy he collects from the black parts of the MOC, he can use those to control his trajectory, how he's flying, and whatnot. So, what do we have so far? We have that he is pushed across space using light as a wind to his sails. He has solar panels, essentially, covering his body so that he can also use and absorb some of that light to to power his thrusters. And what does he do when he enters a new atmosphere for the first time? He's not very aerodynamic, so when atmospheres come into play, he's going to be going way too fast, and he would essentially burn up. But when the in this MOC I have it, and I'm not sure how scientifically accurate any of this is, but when he's in the lighter parts of the atmosphere, my idea is that he would have these, and you'll see these in a moment, these panels, his shoulder plates, open up and act as aero brakes so that he can slow down in the atmosphere to in the upper atmosphere, to the point that when he's descending, he can then use the thrusters on his wrist to slow down his descent even further. So he has air brakes. I wanted to make it so that underneath each one of those there is a missile pod, but I just do not have the technical know-how to make something that would look like a missile fit in such a small area. I have some ideas, but I haven't put them into practice yet, so I'll be working on that. So now that that's out of the way, let's get to the overall design of the MOC, and I'll close these down while we do that. He's got a fairly average build. Let's start at the feet. For the feet, he has a Nika feet covered by CCBS armor panels, and camera, work with me. For the calves, he has Mata feet in Metru legs with a Glatorian neck connector in the middle, so that, you know, the CCBS, I believe, character creation building system, yep. So the CCBS panels can cover his feet. We go up and we literally have Metru thighs with a friction joint to extend them. And the reason I chose Metru thighs is because they just look beefier than Anika thighs. And on the back we have a Metru thigh plate, and on the front we have an Anika thigh plate. We move up to the torso. The torso is my favorite part. If my camera will work with me, I think it's got a good amount of detail. Yes, that red bit is supposed to be there. It's kind of like if he can't remotely deploy his air brakes, he hits that red button and they automatically deploy. He's not entirely centered around combat, so that's why you don't see a lot of combat features. Then we get up to the face. It's just a Mata mask. So let's move to the arms. The arms are a simple Metru leg with two hand connectors being joined together. They're at the side, and it stars, bionicle stars for the covering of that, please. Then we have some scrawl over the Metru leg joint and some normal hands, and then you can barely see the thruster there. Let's look at the back of the MOC and do a sweep. This is one of my best looking MOCs from behind, and that's not saying much because it honestly does not look that good. But it's something. Okay, camera, you gonna work with me? But all in all, that is my review of Apollo. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, the dislike button is right there. This has been MasterCog999, and I'm signing off.